Welcome aboard the Titanic, the cinematic ship that sailed into our hearts like a love story in a sea of icebergs. Released in 1997, James Cameron's Titanic brought us the timeless tale of Jack Dawson, a charming artist, with pockets as empty as the Atlantic is vast, and Rose DeWitt Bukater, a high-society dame dripping in more bling than the ship's anchor. Their love story? Well, it's a classic rom-com wrapped in an iceberg, with Jack schooling Rose on the art of spitting, because nothing says true love like swapping saliva on the deck of a ship destined to meet its aquatic match. As the iceberg looms, their love story becomes more tangled than a sailor's knot, and poor Jack finds himself with a one-way ticket to the world's coldest swimming pool, the vast Atlantic Ocean. But fear not, Titanic isn't just a cinematic sob fest. It's a quirky adventure through the annals of love and laughter, where even the laws of physics take a back seat to the power of romance. Enter James Cameron, the maestro of the cinematic sea. This director insisted on realism like a sailor insists on a good anchor. Real wallpaper, crystal chandeliers, and carpets with more history than your grandma's attic. Titanic's set wasn't just a stage, it was a time-traveling extravaganza. Released in 1997, this movie proved that when it comes to love and icebergs, authenticity reigns supreme. Now, let's dive even deeper into the iceberg. Did you know there's a piece of the Titanic in a museum triggering the eternal question of whether Jack could have fit on that door? Join us as we uncover 10 fun facts about the Titanic that even the most seasoned sailors might not have known. Get ready for a voyage into the quirky, the comical, and the downright bizarre world of Titanic. In the Titanic, amidst the sea of iconic scenes, Jack's artistic skills stand out like a lifeboat in a storm. Picture this: Jack sketching Rose, a moment so touching it could melt an iceberg. But here's the plot twist. It wasn't DiCaprio's hand creating those strokes. It was the mastermind behind it all, James Cameron himself. Yep, you heard it right. Cameron, the director extraordinaire, moonlighted as an artist, doodling all the French girls in Jack's binder. And to keep things afloat in the humor department, here's a little nugget. While DiCaprio wields his pencil with the right hand, Cameron's artistic weapon of choice is the left. But fear not, dear audience, Cameron had a trick up his sleeve. In a move that would make a ship captain proud, the images were flipped during post-production, ensuring that the illusion remained intact and the Titanic of artistic continuity sailed smoothly. Ah, the things directors do to keep their ship from sinking. In the chaotic symphony of the Titanic's sinking, there's a spectacular tale that adds a splash of unexpected humor. Brace yourself for this nugget of nautical naughtiness. You know that scene where Jack, the spitting virtuoso, teaches Rose the fine art of expectoration? Well, turns out that bit was as improvised as a lifeboat drill. Now, fast forward to the ship's impending doom. Rose, torn between love and the icy depths, decides she's had enough of her clingy fiancé, Cal. In a moment of sheer brilliance inspired by Jack's unconventional teachings, she unleashes a majestic spit right at Cal's surprised face, breaking free like a rebellious buoy. The original script called for a hairpin heroics, but Rose's spit take stole the show. What makes it even more Titanic in hilarity is that Billy Zane, the unsuspecting actor playing Cal, had no clue about Kate Winslet's salivary surprise. His genuine look of astonishment and disgust, pure, unscripted gold. So, next time you watch Titanic, remember it's not just the ship that's sinking, it's also sinking in unexpected spit-tuations. When the Titanic took its final plunge, Jack and Rose found themselves in a chilly situation, clinging to life like a pair of stubborn barnacles. Now, here's a chilling tidbit. That icy water scene wasn't exactly a hot tub experience for Kate Winslet. Rumors even swirled that she caught pneumonia, but fear not, for the truth is as elusive as the iceberg itself. In a chat with Colbert on the Late Night Show, Winslet set the record straight, chuckling through the frosty memories. Pneumonia, she scoffs, was a bit much. But oh boy, did that water do a number on her. Turns out she got a dose of hypothermia instead. Why, you ask? Well, the Sea of Wisdom from Winslet reveals it all. Apparently there was an ocean of water to deal with, and heating it up for the actors was as improbable as rescuing the Titanic with a teaspoon. So, the next time you marvel at Jack and Rose's frozen tango, just remember, it wasn't just an act. It was a dip in the frigid waters of commitment, where even hypothermia couldn't cool down the fiery passion for making movie magic. Picture this, a majestic grand staircase, not just a prop, but a resilient set piece designed to take a watery beating. It wasn't constructed to merely fool the audience. It was built with the aquatic durability of a determined rubber ducky. But here's where it gets Titanic-ally interesting. The creators knew from day one that this staircase had a date with a watery demise. As the ship hit the metaphorical iceberg, the grand staircase was destined for a liquid rendezvous. To ensure its destruction had the dramatic flair of a blockbuster splash, the production team unleashed a whopping 90,000 gallons of water on it. Talk about turning a staircase into a water feature. Now, here's the real kicker. They had just one shot at this aqua drama. Why? Because that deluge of water wasn't just a gentle sprinkle. It was a set-sinking tsunami. One wrong move, and the grand staircase would have been more soaked than a sponge at sea. The lesson here? When it comes to creating cinematic chaos, sometimes you've got to go big, or in this case, go wetter than the Titanic's maiden voyage. Imagine being so obsessed with shipwrecks that you decide to dive headfirst into the icy depths of the Titanic's saga. Well, that's exactly what happened in the wild mind of James Cameron. His love for underwater exploration sparked when he met Robert Ballard, the guy who stumbled upon the Titanic's wreckage like it was a giant underwater treasure chest. So, in 1995, armed with waterproof cameras and a flair for dramatic filmmaking, Cameron embarked on a series of aquatic escapades. Forget your run-of-the-mill movie set. This director was so committed that he spent more time in the ocean than the actual Titanic passengers in 1912. 12 dives, folks. 12. That's more times than your average fish gets stuck in a net. Picture Cameron, not just directing from a cushy chair but doing deep-sea disco moves for 15 to 17 hours at a time, exploring, filming, and soaking in all the disaster's sadness and injustice. The real kicker? The footage he snagged down there made it into the movie, turning Titanic from a drama into a deep-sea documentary. Because you see, Cameron wasn't just making a film. He was on a mission to convince viewers that this wasn't just a tear-jerking story. It was an underwater extravaganza that happened to real people, and not all of them got a lifeguard on set. Now, imagine a world where Titanic sailed through without the haunting melody of Celine Dion's vocal prowess. James Cameron, the mastermind behind the epic, initially put his foot down. No music, especially no pop songs to bid adieu. He even dreamt of an Enya-infused symphony, but alas, Enya was too busy conjuring storms in her own ethereal realm. Enter James Horner, the sneaky maestro of musical persuasion. Despite knowing Cameron's aversion to a poppy ending, Horner pulled a musical rabbit out of his hat. Secretly, he got Celine Dion to belt out a demo tape of the now iconic My Heart Will Go On. Picture this. Horner, like a musical pirate with a secret treasure map, reveals the demo to Cameron, hoping to plant the pop seed. Lo and behold, the captain of the cinematic ship, Cameron, had a change of heart. How could he resist the siren song of Celine Dion, especially when it became her Titanic ticket to stardom? My Heart Will Go On didn't just become a song. It became Dion's ship-shaped autograph on the Titanic's farewell letter. Now, looking back, It's hard to imagine Titanic without the heart-wrenching music, as inseparable as Jack and Rose or a ship and its iceberg. Ah, the sweet symphony of cinematic persuasion. In the grand spectacle of Titanic, where historical accuracy was touted like a prized jewel, you'd think not a single detail would slip past the eagle eyes of the viewers. But wait for it. The night sky had its own cosmic beef. As Rose floated on her door, pondering life's grand questions, some sharp-eyed observers noted a celestial hiccup. Apparently, the stars above her weren't playing by the 1912 rulebook. Enter the universe's own critic, American astrophysicist Neil deGrasse Tyson. He, the self-appointed sheriff of accurate skies, insisted that the star-studded scene needed a cosmic makeover. Imagine arguing stars with an astrophysicist. It's like debating the ocean with a fish. After some celestial negotiations, James Cameron, the captain of the cinematic ship, surrendered to Tyson's cosmic demands. He even sent the good doctor an accurate constellation map, ensuring that the sky in Titanic would twinkle with historical precision. Talk about reaching for the stars, or in this case, fixing them. Fast forward to the 2012 re-release, and voila! The night sky got its much-needed historical facelift. Now, when you watch Rose and Jack's romantic stargazing, you can be sure they're seeing the same cosmic show that got astronomers of 1912 starry-eyed. Who knew a love story could have such heavenly oversight? Ah, the perils of making movie magic on the Titanic set. Kate Winslet, the unsinkable Rose, didn't just battle icy waters for the sake of drama, she also faced a showdown with her own costume. Picture this, Jack and Rose sprinting from a watery avalanche down a corridor, and in a twist worthy of a slapstick comedy, Winslet's coat decides it wants a solo career. Yes, folks, Winslet's heavy coat had a diva moment and got tangled on the gate like a rebellious curtain, refusing to part for the main act. Our leading lady found herself in a not-so-Hollywood bind, nearly doing the full Jack and Rose plunge into the deep end. But fear not, for Winslet, the heroine of this watery escapade, managed to wriggle free from the clutches of her rebellious garment. Now here's where it gets titanically amusing. Did Winslet complain to the captain of the ship, James Cameron? Oh no, she sailed on like a trooper, because who wants to be the wimp that cried waterlogged coat? On the other hand, Cameron, the director with the captain's hat, assured everyone that Winslet was never in real danger. Ah, the drama behind the drama, where even the wardrobe tries to steal the show. Behold, a relic from the Titanic's watery escapade, proudly displayed at the Maritime Museum of the Atlantic in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Now squint your eyes, and you might just see the real MVP of debates, a piece that triggers the eternal question, could Jack have squeezed onto that door with Rose? In the grand gallery of shipwreck artifacts, this peculiarly shaped fragment reigns supreme. It's like the unsinkable door's mischievous twin, ready to stir the pot of post-sinking ponderings. People flock to it like seagulls to a fish market, sparking debates hotter than a ship's boiler room. Was it the actual door? Could Jack have found a spot on this floating dance floor? The speculation swirls like a sea vortex, and the museum becomes a battleground for armchair Titanic engineers. Oh, the mysteries of maritime furniture, where even a door fragment can steal the spotlight and keep the age-old debate afloat. Welcome to the Titanic, where doors are more famous than some Hollywood stars. In the whimsical world of Titanic, where historical accuracy reigned supreme, James Cameron went all out. He didn't just want to recreate the vibe. He wanted the real deal. The set became a time-traveling extravaganza, and Cameron played captain to a crew of White Star Line detectives, determined to make the ship as authentic as Grandma's fruitcake. Forget movie magic. Cameron insisted on real wallpaper, because who needs special effects when you can have historically accurate floral patterns? Crystal chandeliers weren't just for show, they were the crown jewels of Titanic bling, lighting the way for love and iceberg encounters alike. And those lead windows? Not just a design choice. They were there to make sure the authenticity was heavier than a sinking ship. But wait, there's more. Cameron, the smooth talker, convinced the carpet connoisseurs at BMK Stoddard of England, the folks who carpeted the actual Titanic, to weave their magic for the movie. These carpet wizards still had the blueprints, and voila, the corridors and suites were adorned with carpets so authentic, you'd think they'd seen a century of spilled tea and lost poker chips. So, next time you marvel at the details in Titanic, remember, it's not just a movie set. It's a time-traveling spectacle where even the carpets have a tale to tell. Oh, the lengths we go for the sake of historically accurate movie magic. And there you have it, my fellow Titanic enthusiasts and comedy sea captains. A journey through the cinematic oddities of James Cameron's epic blockbuster. We've surfed the waves of absurdity, dodged iceberg-sized debates, and navigated through the high tides of quirky movie trivia. If this report tickled your funny bone like a rogue iceberg grazing the Titanic's hull, then don't be shy, give that like button a warm embrace. For those craving more laughter and untold tales that could rival the unpredictability of Rose's artistic endeavors, consider subscribing faster than Jack swam toward that elusive door. In the vast ocean of movie revelations, there's always more beneath the surface, waiting to be discovered like a hidden treasure in the ship's cargo hold. As you embark on your cinematic journey, may your movie nights be as legendary as the Titanic itself, minus the sinking part, of course. Until our next laughter-filled voyage, keep chuckling, keep exploring, and may your love for great movies go on and on, just like Jack's attempt to stay afloat. Remember, hitting that subscribe button ensures you won't miss the comedic iceberg on the horizon in our future reports. Thanks for joining us on this hilariously enlightening cruise through the wacky world of Titanic humor.